Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. Thank you for your patience. Welcome to the Will County Board meeting for January 15th, 2026. I'll call this meeting to order. Member Costa will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and introduce the clergy.
Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing as I introduce to the community Father Patrick Murphy with St. Francis of Assisi Catholic Church in Bolingbrook. Like Pope Leo, Father Pat was raised on the south side of Chicago by wonderful parents with a twin sister, Patricia, and brother and sister who are also twins and 22 months older. In his ministry life, he's a Catholic priest for the last 21 years in Hinsdale, Naperville, and Bolingbrook. And he's also served in the military after college as a military policeman in Germany and 31 years in various assignments with AT&T. I'm honored to have Father Pat join us this morning for our invocation. On a personal level, Father Pat facilitated my children's first reconciliation and has over the years provided guidance, perspective, and blessings to my family. We are grateful to have him in our spiritual life, and I'm grateful to have him join us today. Thank you, Father Pat.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It is great to be here. I just met Julie Berkowitz here. I had never met her before. And I asked her, do you know why I wear this collar? And she said, sure, I know. It's because it kills fleas and ticks up to 30 days. But we're here to ask the Lord to be with us, to guide us, to direct us in this new year, this calendar year of 2026. It's a new beginning for all of us. Lord, guide us, direct us, certainly love us. I ask you to bless this board with strength and endurance as they carry out their duties, often under challenging and stressful circumstances. Please grant them wisdom and discernment so that they can work with sound advice and make wise decisions. I also ask you to help them maintain a spirit of service and selflessness, always putting the needs of others ahead of their own. Help them to seek your guidance in all they do and be driven by a desire to serve you and make a positive impact on Will County and its citizens. Give them a sense of purpose and fulfillment in their work, knowing that they are a valuable contribution to our county. May they know they are appreciated and their efforts valued. And we pray that the county may be a beacon of hope and a model of good governance. May it work to promote peace, justice, and common good. And may it be a lasting blessing to all who live in Will County. I pray that you will bless our leaders with your presence and guidance and use them to bring positive change. Lord, we know that this world can be dark and difficult and that we face many challenges today. But we also know with you, all things are possible. So I pray that you would raise up leaders who are unafraid to stand for what is right, guided by your truth, committed to making Will County a better place, a place where government leaders represent all citizens with respect for their human dignity. And above all, I pray that you will give Will County a place of blessing, a kingdom that will be in line with the kingdom of God. And we ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful year. God bless you.
Thank you, Father.
All right. Thank you. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Richmond. Williams. Dean Schlattman. Ogala. Pretzel. Butler. Newquist. Balich. Balich. Oxley. Oxley. Brooks. Winfrey. Bullock. Logan. Freeman. Revis. Mitchell, Ortiz, Berkowitz, Hickey, Costa,
Here.
Trainier, Van Dyne.
Having 20 members present, we have a quorum. Can I get a motion to place on file the certificate of publication? Motion by Trinier, seconded by Brooks. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Richmond, Williams, Ogala, Pretzel, Butler, Newquist, Balich, Oxley, Brooks, Winfrey, Bullock, Logan, Freeman, Revis, Ortiz, Berkowitz, Hickey, Costa, Trainier, Van Dyne.
20 in the affirmative, the motion carries. This time we'll move on to the approval of minutes. I need a motion to approve the minutes from the December 18th, 2025 board meeting. Motion by Trinier, seconded by Costa. Previous roll call by Winfrey, seconded by Newquist. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. At this time, Madam Clerk, will you please acknowledge the elected officials and media present today?
Today we have County Executive Jennifer Bertino Tarrant, County Clerk Annette Parker, Coroner Lori Summers, Auditor Duffy Blackburn, and Treasurer Tim Brophy.
Thank you. Today, we have two honorary resolutions proclamation recognizing two of our employees who will be retiring today. We're going to begin with honoring Will County Finance Director Karen Hennessy. If you'd come up, and we have Member Newquist who will be reading the proclamation.
Hi, Karen. Okay, it is my honor to read this proclamation. Whereas Karen Hennessy has served as Director of the Will County Finance Department for 12 years, overseeing financial operations, reporting, and long-term planning for all county offices. And whereas Karen Hennessy has served with distinction over her 20-year career with Will County, earning the respect of her staff and colleagues with her leadership and work ethic. And whereas under her tenure as Finance Director, Karen Hennessy has overseen budgeting and fiscal implementation for several large-scale initiatives, has modernized internal operations, and has strengthened countywide policies and procedures. And whereas her vision of responsible financial planning has ensured a strong credit rating for Will County, millions of dollars saved through bond refunding deals, and 12 consecutive years of receiving the Certificate of Excellence in Financial Reporting Award from the Government Finance Officers Association. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Will County Board and the Will County Executive do hereby recognize the leadership and dedication of Karen Hennessy to the County of Will and the people of Will County through her 20 years of service in the Will County Finance Department. Be it further proclaimed that the Will County Board and the Will County Executive wish her a long, healthy, and happy retirement, dated this 15th day of January, 2026. Thank you.
Then I'll make a goofy comment. Thank you for the recognition. I keep hearing about my big feet. And I have to tell you, that is not a requirement of the position. And you won't even notice I'm gone. The people that will be stepping in will be doing a fabulous job with smaller feet. Thank you very much again.
Thank you, Karen. Wait, you gotta take a picture.
There you go. You want to hold this, ma'am? You hold that? No. Thanks, Karen. We're going to.
Yeah, thank you. My glasses.
Next, we're going to have Member Ogala, who will read the proclamation recognizing Marta Keene's retirement.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel it's very important that we do proclamation to recognize our employees who've worked so hard for the citizens of Will County. I am honored to read this proclamation today. Whereas Marta Keene has devoted 20 years of distinguished service to Will County, providing guidance and expertise for a variety of recycling, waste reduction, and environmental stewardship programs. And whereas during her 2 decades with Will County, Marta Keene has been instrumental in building durable systems and trusted partnerships that have increased local recycling access, improved public participation, and delivered long-term environmental benefits to residents. And whereas Marta Keene has guided the planning, implementation, and continuous improvement of countywide recycling and waste reduction initiatives, ensuring that Will County remains responsive to community needs. And whereas Marta Keene has solidified Will County's place as a leader in statewide recycling and environmental protection. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Will County Board and the Will County Executive do hereby recognize Marta Keene's 20 years of exceptional service to Will County and her lasting impact on recycling and sustainability. Be it further proclaimed that the Will County Board and the Will County Executive wish her a long, healthy, and happy retirement. Dated this 15th day of January, 2026. And I so move. Would you like to say? Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I did write this down so I would get it right, so excuse me while I'm reading it. I want to thank all of you for your support over these past 20 years. I want to thank you for your leadership in turning the Waste Services Division into the Resource Recovery and Energy Division in 2010. I want to thank you for embracing the Will County Green website, the Will County Green newsletter, and also just widening our scope to include energy efficiency and water conservation. It has been my pleasure to work with all of you as our elected officials, and then also our departments, which include the Health Department, Transportation, Maintenance, also the Forest Preserve, not only to improve our sustainability efforts, but to educate our residents and our businesses on the value of each of their actions. None of our success is possible without partners, from the townships and the municipalities that host our collection events, to organizations such as ShareFest, Joliet Junior College, the University of Illinois Extension Office Master Gardeners, and the Conservation Foundation, just to name a few. It has been my honor and pleasure to work with all these different organizations and all of you, and I want to thank you so much for all of the things that we've been able to accomplish together.
Thank you for being a true leader in that. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, in front. I'll take your proclamation and show it off.
Okay, I'll put that there.
Thank you for everything. Everything I've learned, I told like Marta, I learned from Marta.
Congratulations. Enjoy.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here and celebrating with us. We will now move on to public comment for agenda items only. At this time, I invite anyone to come up for public comment for today's agenda items, unless you have a land use case, and then we will let you speak before the land use hearing. So if there's anyone here for an agenda item outside of land use who would like to speak. Once, twice. 3 times. Okay, very good. Moving on to all old business, all resolutions and ordinances from the December 18th, 2025 board meeting have been signed and returned. We'll now move on to Land Use and Development Committee. Chair Pretzel.
Thank you, Madam Executive. I'd like to make a motion to open public hearing for all land use cases.
Motion by Pretzel, seconded by Revis. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Richmond, Williams, O'Gala, Pretzel,
Yes.
Butler, Newquist, Balich, Oxley, Brooks, Winfrey, Bullock, Logan, Freeman, Revis, Mitchell, Ortiz, Berkowitz, Hickey, Costa. Do you say yes? Trainier, Van Dyne.
20, oh. Rachel came in. Yep, 21 in the affirmative, the motion carries. A remind, if you so, we are now in public hearing. A reminder that absolutely no new evidence or information will be allowed once this land use public hearing is closed. So if you have, if you would like to speak on any land use case, please come forward now. Once? Oh, yep, there you go. If you will, just state your name and case for us.
Sure.
Thank you.
Bill Kozel. I'm not sure the case number here. It's ordinance 25-298, 25-2837, ZC 25-080. So I don't know if it's necessary for me to say anything because I don't believe the owner or the agent is here today, and the zoning committee voted unanimously to turn this request down, as did the land use committee. So I don't know what else could be said, but just so everybody's aware, what the owner is trying to do is he's trying to put a commercial lot in the middle of a residential area. There's a house on either side of him. He wants to put this commercial development right at the entrance to the Sugar Creek subdivision. And it would totally destroy the zoning in the area. I would refer to it as haphazard zoning. Zoning is to delineate residential areas from commercial areas. He wants to put a commercial area right in the middle of this residential area. He wants to put a retail establishment there, which would alter the traffic patterns, cause traffic congestion, probably ruin the property values in the area. And once this parcel were to be zoned commercial, of course, it would remain commercial, so that when this owner who's proposing this ordinance moves away, he wants to put a fencing company there now. It could become anything. It could become a trucking parking lot there. So the future of the area would be uncertain. So I'm urging everybody to vote against this proposal. Thank you.
So just point of order here.
Pretzel, yeah, hold on.
The applicant has requested to withdraw this from the agenda. I think he's withdrawing his whole application. So you guys are free to talk about the case, but we
Yeah.
won't be voting on it today. And this is your chance to talk about it,
Yeah.
but the applicant has withdrawn.
So can you?
I mean, I can't say forever, but we're not going to be voting on it today.
Yeah, what can you get comment? Thank you, sir.
We've been here. This is the 5th time we've been here. It's been going on since September. It keeps on getting continued. And it's a hindrance. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
We need to vote on this thing and get it over with.
Yeah. Well,
I object to any continuance of this in any way.
And so let's get a clarification, because I agree with you. Can we get a clarification what withdraw means? He's withdrawn his application. He has not asked for a continuance, what we understand. So if you can explain. Hold on, I lost you. There you go, sir.
There's no continuance being requested. This time, the applicant has withdrawn his request. Therefore, if he wanted to go back, I believe he'd have to wait a year at least. But he would have to go through a whole new zoning case. So he would start back at the beginning. This is not a continuance as it was before. I don't know why the applicant has withdrawn, but he withdrew, I believe, early this week. And so at this point, there's already been a published public hearing. I agree that the public should be allowed to give their viewpoints, but he has withdrawn. And the applicant does have the absolute right to withdraw the.
Yeah, you're still welcome to give your
Yeah.
comments. We just wanted to let you know
That they,
it's not going to be voted on today.
you're up, sir.
Jay Gregory, 490 Sugar Creek Drive. I'm glad they withdrew their, well, I guess they're looking for a permit. But the problem right at the moment is that it's terrible over there. They got trailers laying there. They got housing laying there. There's somebody staying there. There's no approved, there's no permits. There's a building should have been torn down 45 years ago and it's still standing. They removed all the asbestos out of the place and the plaster, and now it was without permits and it's still standing. I think it just needs to be, this board needs to take some action. I don't like looking at it, to tell you the truth. I've lived there 75 years or 74 going on 75. It's never been that ugly over there, and it's not it is detrimental to the neighborhood. The east side of Joliet has been overrun by trucks, lay down yards, construction equipment thrown on. You go to Alessio Drive that's adjacent to that, there's trucks all over the place. There's no parking, there's no road. It's terrible. There's a railroad easement that's being used for truck parking. I thought you used to, Rendell's, Pat, he built a beautiful truck park over by his business and everybody else is just parking in the dirt. I don't understand what's going on. You know, there's a few buildings over there built before zoning. I mean, I guess they're grandfathered in or great grandfathered in. And the rest of it's looking pretty sad. I mean, you go look at Joliet East. I went to school there. The lay down yard there is a complete mess. There's crap in the road. I understand they're building a place, but there's no berm. There's no, I know it's in the city of Joliet, but it was Will County, and the borders aren't clear. They're not enforced. Joliet doesn't know where the roads stop, or the county doesn't know where the roads stop. You got a road commissioner in the township that doesn't care because his name's on the road. So I don't know. I wish this would go away. I wish it would go back to where it was, but I wish it'd be cleaned up also. Thank you.
I think we have a couple questions. Do you have a question for him, Mr. Brooks? Oh, okay. Do you have a question for this gentleman? Yep. Member Berkowitz.
Thank you for being here today. Have any of the neighbors submitted a complaint with our land use regarding this property?
Yes.
So
We've
there
been to
have
land
been
use,
complaints?
We've been to Will County, we've been to the EPA, we've been everywhere about it.
Have you
Just not that property, and adjacent properties, and nothing's been done. What happens is the city of Joliet sues people, and then they settle out of court, and it's back to the same old thing. So the Will County, they've all been notified. I mean, when I get a notice from the Will County Board, I respond to it immediately. And like, this is, well, that
So
was.
for the complaints that have been submitted to land use, what has the response been from Will County Land Use?
Well, there's been no response to our community organization or homeowners organization. We haven't heard anything from anybody. I'm not saying anything bad about Will County. I'm just saying there's no response.
Okay. Madam Executive, I'd just like the land use to respond to this at the appropriate time. Sure. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you very much for coming.
I
forward.
appreciate your comment, but one more thing is, I wish you'd all get in a bus and go over there and take a look, because you need to ride around the east side and see what happened to it. I mean, the Will County's redoing the roads and they're,
You mentioned the structure that's on there that's not, it's not habitable. Is it secured in any way
Well,
to
they-
prevent people from going in it? or-
in the last couple of weeks, they screwed a couple pieces of plywood up. The doors are open. There's people living there. I don't know what, I haven't gone on the property. I'm not able to do that. But I can tell you from the road, it looks terrible. There's trucks, there's crap in the back. I've got my own share of problems, but, yeah. It's,
So obviously, this is an unincorporated, so it's under the county of Will. What about the sheriff's department with the people you say who are living there? Has there been any response?
I'm not privy to that, ma'am, but I do know that it's a jurisdictional nightmare because the Manhattan Roads, Route 52, which is a state highway, the city of Joliet has a water main running through it. That means the city of Joliet has annexed it. The road, they haven't annexed the property, but so the roads should be maintained by Joliet. I know it's a strange statute, but I've run into a place where half the road's annexed and the other half isn't. And the state says that whoever annexed the half, like city of Joliet, they have to take care of right away to right away. And
I understand it can be very confusing, especially with our roads. Well, one other follow-up question. You mentioned that people are living on the property. Is it the owner or are they squatters?
ma'am, I really don't know.
And has
I don't
anyone
think the owners there.
Filed a complaint with the sheriff about the people there?
We made the complaint with the board meeting, the last appearances, every appearance we've been here, we've complained about it and nothing's been done. That's been 5 appearances a year ago and nothing's been done since. I don't know, when land use is sitting here and I'm talking to them, they haven't done anything.
Thank you for coming forward
All
and
right.
we appreciate your time. and-
Anything the county could do.
Yes.
I mean,
And I think we're going to have land use, because sometimes, like I said, I'm not sure if the property, I'm assuming you're talking about the property that is in unincorporated, or you're talking about some other property. So we have someone from land use who can at least address some of the comments you had, David.
So David DuBois, Director of the Land Use Department. I'm looking in our e-court right now. There's notes as of yesterday that she was notified, that, again, no longer proceeding with the case. And they've reached out to the owner. They updated the photos and they will be proceeding with the open violation at 501 Manhattan. So
Good to know. Hold on. Go ahead. You're still on.
What are the violations they're proceeding with? Does it include the reference to the people, I guess, living in the house?
let me look at the summary here for a second.
So I guess what violations are we pursuing?
2 campers on the property. People have individuals living in them. Buildings appear to be dilapidated. There's other photos that are attached in the file as well.
And what about the debris?
That would be included probably in the complaint. So
It is? I don't want to probably.
if it's
wanna
not,
make
I can make sure
there's-
the inspector's aware of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
okay.
And I'm going to move us on because again, now we're getting a little too far away from what we originally, this is something different than the land use case we're dealing with because these are larger issues. But if, thank you for coming up and just. 'cause I
Okay,
know
thank you.
Yeah, and if you just like to, you sure can, apps.
the abandoned house, there's nobody living in it. It's vacant. It's gutted. There's an RV and a trailer on the property that's being occupied. It's adjacent to the house. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. All right, Member Brooks.
Thank you, Madam Executive. As you know, this property is in the District 6, Denise Winfrey and I, and we see it, we go by there every day. We're aware of it. But my question, State's Attorney, because Chairman Pitso, you mentioned is off the agenda, but Kevin, you mentioned they can wait a year and come back. Is that correct?
Spoke. I misspoke. If they had been denied, it was a year. There is no, at least in quick research here, there is no time limit when they withdraw. But they will have to go through the entire process.
Right.
Again, all the steps going through PZC
Okay.
posting. Like I said, I don't know what the basis of the withdrawal was. Usually, I mean, I've seen in the past, because they've had a negative experience, they've withdrawn rather than getting denied.
Yeah, no, I know what the basis is. They got tired of everybody complaining because they know they are compliance, but you didn't hear that. Thank you.
I'll also say, I mean, this got zero support in PZC and land use, so it wasn't likely to pass here either, which is likely why they withdrew.
I think we have another question for the state attorney's office.
So just to clarify, if they had been denied, then it would take another year.
Correct.
Okay. I just want to make sure
Correct. I misspoke on the first time around.
yeah, okay.
All right. So anyone else and for any other land use cases? If not, I'm going to need a motion to close.
Motion to close public hearing?
Motion by Pretzel, seconded by by Mitchell.
No,
We have to do roll call on ending the hearing. So Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Richmond, Williams, Ogala, Pretzel,
Yes.
Butler, Newquist, Balich, Oxley,
Yes.
Winfrey, Bullock, Logan, Freeman, Revis, Mitchell, Ortiz, Berkowitz, Hickey, Costa, Trainier, Van Dyne.
Member Pretzel.
Thank you, Madam Executive. We only have one item on the agenda today, but I would like to make a motion to remove zoning case 25-080.
Motion by Pretzel, seconded by Revis. Any discussion? Previous roll call by Ogala, seconded by Brooks. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
And that's all I have. Next Land Use and Development Committee meeting is scheduled for February 5th, 2026.
Thank you. Moving on to Finance Committee, Chair Newquist.
Good morning, everybody. We have a consent agenda with the following items. Ordinance 26-002, abating taxes for the GO alternate revenue bonds, Series 2025A. B, Ordinance 26-003, abating taxes for the GO alternate revenue bonds, Series 2025B. Resolution 26-004, appropriating enterprise zone payment in the land use budget. D, Resolution 26-005, FY fiscal year 25 budget transfer. E, Resolution 26-006, appropriating funds in the coroner's budget. Those were grant funds. F, Resolution 26-007, budget amendment within the Will County Health Department budget, and I so move.
Motion by Newquist, seconded by Winfrey. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I don't think there's discussion when there's a consent agenda. So that's what I've been told. Am I correct? Oh, wait, yeah, don't we, okay, folks, we do that at the beginning. That's what yeah. All right. That's fine. I'm not gonna, but I think before we say there's a consent agenda, you have to let us, know we need to remove something. So, okay, so how do we do this now? Because we went through it. He did not have a light on. It was, so tell us just how to fix it,
Yeah, just whatever item he'd like to remove.
Okay.
Obviously, that is the cleanest way before we start reading off the agenda items, have whatever, agenda item 3 moved, or E. So
So maybe moving forward, I guess, before we start this, I guess, if the chair, if we have a consent agenda, say, this time I'm going to move over. If anyone has any objection, maybe then we'll know that they have to do it at that time, moving forward. All right, so, Member Balich, which one would you like removed?
Yeah, I just wanted to remove E so we could talk about it.
That's fine. Okay, so now how do we correct what we did last time? Because that was on there.
yeah, so we can move forward with the consent agenda, and once the consent agenda has been approved, we'll
Should we do
discuss
it-
item E and then item,
Yeah,
well, item
but
2.
we've already motion passed. So how do we?
It is, no, it is not. He was trying to make a motion to remove it. I don't think we have to do anything. He was attempting to make a motion to remove it.
Do I
It's
need
been-
to amend my motion to?
Yeah, why don't we
remove-
just, let's play clear. Amend your motion for the consent agenda and just read the numbers excluding E.
Okay,
Because I
I-
think we did get through the whole.
I
process.
will amend my motion to pass the consent agenda to limit it to items A, B, C, D, F only. And I so move.
Motion by Newquist, seconded by Winfrey. All in favor?
I,
Any opposed? The motion carries.
okay,
I'm sorry.
so E,
Oh, I'm sorry, we need to add, member Dean Schlotman, do you want to be a yes on that last motion, or want to wait till the next one? Thank you.
okay, so now we'll move on to E, appropriating funds in the coroner's budget.
Is that a motion?
And I so
All right,
move.
motion by
Sorry.
Newquist, seconded by Trinier. Any discussion? Member Ballard.
Yeah, I just have I think, I have no problem with the actual item, but as the question is like, when the county board voted to appropriate money to the clerk and to the ROE, then now it's not being appropriated. Is this the same type, just the same thing? We're appropriating money to a budget. And so we're appropriating money to the coroner's budget, which I agree with. But at the same time, is it the same thing where once it gets appropriated, we have to have a big argument about giving her the money?
Excuse
You know
me.
what I mean? I don't
can't
understand.
answer.
What I'm trying to get at is I don't understand the process. Why? Because I always thought the county board appropriates the money and you just give it to them.
Yeah.
And that's not the case for the REO or the clerk. So I wanted to clarify, how this works.
I think the chair is going to be able to.
Yeah,
answer that for
I
you.
can respond to that. It's part of a program called the Missing Pieces Program, sponsored by Lurie's Children's Hospital. And it's to, in support of a program that provides grief support services to parents that have had the death of a child. And it is not money that comes from taxpayers. It is money that it's from Lurie's Children's Hospital as part of this program. So we could not include it in the original budget because we didn't know we were going to get it, number one, and we didn't know how much we were going to get, number two. So this is just like any other external grant money that once we receive it, we have to appropriate it in order to be able to spend it. I hope that helps.
I'm not sure if the difference is you are appropriated directly to the coroner's office. If that's the difference.
Thing. I don't understand the difference. If the county board appropriates money, I agree to give her the money. I'm not saying no, so I'm a yes on it. But I guess I guess you got to answer it, Kevin. How do we appropriate money to a budget for a department and then the department gets the money removed? I don't understand. How, just like this is the same, we're appropriating money, even though it don't come from tax dollars. All right, we're appropriating money to the budget. And the county board's voting yes. And then the county board voted yes to appropriate money for the clerk's office and the REO, and they're not getting the money. So I don't understand the difference. So I need an explanation how we can appropriate money and then it don't get appropriated.
Sure. So with regard to this resolution, my understanding of what has happened here is that, as the chair said, this was not a guaranteed thing. So there was not a line item for this. You are creating a line item for this now that you've gotten the grant. So again, I know you've asked for a written opinion on the ROE and the clerk's office. That's not germane to this. And like I said, if we get the appropriate thing, we will issue a written opinion. For this, it's because the money was not put anywhere in the budget because we didn't know we were going to get it. So now that it has been given, it is moving from anticipated revenues to a line item for this specific program. I think it's creating versus the special funds are a completely different thing. This is creating a line item.
Member Van Duyn.
Thank you, Madam Chair. the way I understand it, Mr. Balich is probably looking forward to a conversation about the special fund, the cannabis fund. And maybe he can have that explanation at some other point to satisfy his needs there, but that has nothing to do with this particular item. So I can help you with that, Steve, to get you that answer if you like. Thank you.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. Would you like a roll call vote on that, or or do we have a previous roll call? Previous roll call by Balich, seconded by Brooks. All in favor? Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries.
All right, number 2, we just have a number of monthly financial reports to place on file. Primarily the auditor's quarterly reports, and I so move.
Motion by Newquist, seconded by Costa. Previous roll call by Trinier, seconded by Brooks. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I have. Our next Finance Committee meeting is scheduled for February 3rd.
Thank
Thank you.
Moving on to Public Works and Transportation, Chair Trinier.
Thank you, Madam Executive. We have a number of items on the consent agenda. Would anyone on our board like to remove any of those items? Going once, going twice. Going 3 times.
All right.
May I proceed?
You may proceed, yes.
Thank
think
you.
we- I- you
Letter
can go
A,
ahead.
Resolution 26-008, confirming award of contract to Homer Tree, countywide removal. Letter B, Resolution 26-009, confirming award of contract to Deconstruction, let in December on Lorenzo Road over the BNSF Railroad Road, County Board District 1. Letter C, Resolution 26-010, granting 2 accesses for ingress and egress for the new businesses on Laraway Road in County Board District 2. Letter D, Resolution 26-011, appropriating transportation funds for the acquisition of necessary right-of-way by agreement or condemnation or other right-of-way costs associated with the improvements for Francis Road and Marley Road, County Board District 2, 4, and 5. Letter E, Resolution 26-012, authorizing approval of professional services agreement for engineering services for the 2026 Will County Bridge inspections with Willett Hoffman and Associates, County Board Districts 1 through 11. Letter F, Resolution 26-013, authorizing approval of professional services agreement for design engineering services Phase 1 with HDR Inc. for Mills Road from US Route 52 to Briggs Street, County Board District 6. Letter G, Resolution 26-014, authorizing the Will County State's Attorney's Office to proceed with condemnation cases regarding the county's improvements of Francis Road and Marley Road, County Board Districts 2, 4, and 5, and I so move.
Motion by Trinier, seconded by Freeman. Previous roll call by Brooks, seconded by O'Gala. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Our next Public Works and Transportation Committee is scheduled for February 3rd at 9 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to Public Health and Safety, Chair Butler.
Public health and safety has nothing to move forward. Our next meeting is on February 5th.
Thank you. Legislative Committee, Chair Winfrey.
Good morning, Madam Executive, fellow board members. The Legislative Committee this morning has 2 items. The first being the state agenda, and we need to do an amendment there. On page 1 of the state agenda, there is an item referring to FOIA requests.
Can we, let's get it moved first and then we will, so I need a motion. Motion by Winfrey, seconded by Trinier. Discussion. Go ahead.
Thank you. On the state agenda on page 1, there's 2 items referring to FOIA requests, and it says both oppose and support. That was overlooked when we were filing that before, so we need to make a decision, an amendment that says which one we do. I'm assuming we support, but we need that amendment. So I would move.
We're making a motion to change that word to support. Motion by Trinier, seconded by Hickey. Is there any discussion? Okay. We have 3 questions here. Member Revis?
After this, I want to make an amendment.
Gotcha. Member Oxley?
Thank you. Is this the paper that was put on their desk this morning? Okay, I'd like more time to review this before we act on it. Thank you.
Just for everyone's edification, this is not a new information. This is the same thing we went through in the legislative committee. The issue is that at the top of that paragraph, we had support and oppose, and we didn't determine which one it was. We assumed there was support, I believe. And so we passed it as it stood. So it's just a correction there, if that's helpful.
You have one spirit type. Member Berkowitz?
Okay, so I've just heard that it is on the agenda. This change that I'm holding in my hand is in the agenda because I don't see it. So my question is this language, is this posted so the public can view it on our agenda? Because I can't find it. So is it in fact on this agenda? Can you bring it up, please?
This is the language that is currently in the state agenda. The only
What was
thing,
handed out this morning, I'm referring to the information that
and
was.
the piece that
handed
I
out.
didn't finish, the piece that was handed out this morning is a copy of what is currently in the state's agenda. The thing that is different is at the top of the paragraph, it says opposed, deleted, would be the red section when we went through the agenda in the committee. What we did not do is make a determination of oppose or support for that paragraph. That is the only thing that is different. The body of the paragraph is not changed. Either this one or the item behind it. Neither of the 2 items is changed in the body. The only change is at the top of the paragraph for each of them, where it says oppose and support. We cannot have both. So we need to make a decision, either oppose or support for each of those 2 items. And that's what we're asking for in the amendment, is for the first item, we're doing them one at a time. For the first item, the amendment has been offered to support that FOIA information that you had before in the committee and you have a copy of again this morning.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that the public who's viewing this message can understand what we're doing. So they don't have a copy of our state agenda in front of them. So if they're on the computer, what page is this? Let's just make it clear for the public.
All right. So I don't know if, I guess, I don't know the page number. So I guess your page on what?
Page 1.
Page 1 of the,
Say it
of
again, page 1.
of the state agenda. All right. Member Richmond?
Sorry, I think some of it may have already been clarified a little
Okay.
bit. It's page 1 in the state agenda. And it's, I don't know, it's the FOIA legislation. We just didn't choose one. It has both support and oppose. And from what I understand, Denise, is we're looking for clarification. Do we support or do we oppose? So one of those words will be scratched out
Yes, exactly.
and one
That's
will be
the-
chosen.
That's it.
And right now you're voting on the word support.
So,
So that was the motion, the word.
First paragraph.
yeah, so,
That's all that it is.
yeah.
All right, so
No language has changed.
Member Trinier and then Butler.
I don't really have a question. I just want to apologize for pointing this out.
Oh, okay.
We could have just passed it the way it was.
Oh, that's fine.
And it would have just confused any legislator that was looking at it.
Member Butler.
Okay, so I just wanted to just make sure that I'm understanding this correctly. I mean, I don't have any objection to doing this. We should do this. But on the first one, we're limiting the amount of footage that can be accessed through FOIA under the 6 conditions. Is that correct? And then on the second one, we're extending.
We're only on the first one right now. We're only doing them one at a time.
Okay, all right. So is that correct?
Is that
We're limiting
Chair Whitford.
the amount of video that can be FOIA'd. Because these six
Yes.
conditions don't exist now. Is that correct?
They're in your agenda. They are in what you approved in the meeting. But you
I-
didn't say.
I
support
understand
both.
that. I'm just saying, how does this change from the law that is currently on the
This
books?
amends.
Are we asking for something different or are we supporting the law?
And now we're getting to like, do there questions that you, this is, I guess, things we should have probably worked out in committee before we got here to vote on the final
Well, I didn't
agenda.
think this was moving forward. I didn't
Okay.
think we didn't think we'd be done before, our new chair came in. We never thought we would be done this quick. We thought there was going to be more things to go over. So I'm just asking, before I vote on it, is that what this, if I'm reading this correctly?
Amends, yes.
Maybe
amends
it's something
law
for the
to
state's
protect
attorney to
billboard
answer,
body
not the-
camera
not the-
access.
Maybe
Okay.
the state's attorney.
As I read it, and I'm pulling up the Body Cam Act right now, and we do have a fair amount of experience doing this. I think it actually expands access.
Spans
Yes.
access. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a couple more. Member Ortiz?
Thank you. As I'm reading it, I don't see where Kevin would say that it expands access at all, because it literally says limits disclosure. This to me says that it's going to make it harder for the general public to obtain certain body camera footage. So I would encourage us to oppose this bill. That would be my suggestion. It's limiting disclosure of body camera footage from news media, from the general public. So I would say that we should oppose this bill.
So are you asking for clarification from the state's attorney whether it expands or, okay.
On that.
Sorry. Your answer.
Under the old act or in the current act, it was limited as well. I'm trying to pull up the actual limitations. But it was not carte blanche when body cams became available, and there's a whole process of flagging. There are different instances when an item is considered flagged under the law. Like I said, I'm running a compare right now to show you, but before, I don't recall witnesses ever being considered. Yeah, it's part of it. So anyways, give me 2 minutes to look through this, but in the past, we have not necessarily given just a witness or somebody who is, they use the term involved. They have not been given carte blanche to get access to body cams, especially when there's a pending investigation or things like that.
All right, so while you have some things to look up, we will continue with discussion. So we have Member Butler, do you want to circle back on something?
Yeah, I just think, I think it's important to make that distinction when we're going to vote, whether we oppose or support, if it's an increase or a decrease. And I'm not comfortable that we actually know that. I think we need a little time. I wouldn't mind postponing this until next month to give the state's attorney the time to properly address this.
Chair Winfrey? Hold on, I'm sorry. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right.
Another option for us is, since the rest of the agenda seems to have met the approval of the committee, we can amend the agenda to take out these two items. These are currently in the Rules Committee, which means that's going to be a long process. We don't have to have them. If we want these two items to go forward, then we need to decide support or oppose. We can take these two off, and then at some later date, if we hear from the Rules Committee what their position is, we can add those. So I would offer that as an option for us as well.
Member Trinier?
Thank you, Madam Executive. I just heard it said that it limits the news media, and I wanted to clarify that it absolutely allows a representative of the news media to request these footages. So I don't feel, again, without knowing the exact verbiage, and I'm not on this committee, but without knowing the exact verbiage and what the changes might have been, but this seems very reasonable to me. Court order, person involved, legal representative of the person involved, witness of the encounter, legal representative of the witness and the news media. I don't necessarily think that it's fair to any unit of government that anybody can just go in and ask for a FOIA every single day of every single piece of body camera. I mean, that would tie up the government and that agency immensely and potentially either cost a lot more money or not allow that agency to function properly. So I'm in favor of supporting this. That seems fair to me, the people that are requesting the copies of the footage, and I will support it.
Thank you. Member, we're going to give people who have not spoken. Mr. Revis, you were next, but you're still on the next one? Okay.
Outside of this issue.
Okay. We have Member Berkowitz, because it's, you keep, I'm turning you off because you stay on a list of names. Go ahead. Member Berkowitz. You are green. Now you're red.
Thank you. I'd like to know what is Mr. Glasgow's position on this? Does he oppose or support this?
We don't, Mr. Glasgow has not weighed in on this. I don't believe he has a position.
Okay, has our sheriff? Do we have any feedback from the sheriff? I'm asking the state's attorney.
I couldn't speak for the sheriff's office. I don't know.
So we don't have feedback from either. But I think this is probably important to them. I absolutely think their concerns and opinion would matter.
Okay. Yeah.
We can go forward or we can look for some input from these two additional.
All right. Member
Oh.
O'Gala?
Thank you. So since this is in the Rules Committee, I think it's important for them to hear our position on it. So, because what we can do, because this is important, if it's in rules, we could go ahead and say, send a letter from our county board to say, the county board supports or opposes either one of these. That way, when they're making their decision on how they're going to vote to move it out of committee or not, they at least hear how Will County thinks about it. So I think it's a good idea for us to vote on it today, to include it, to not include it, support it, oppose it. I think it makes sense for us to do that today. That's my position.
Member Oxley?
Yes, I think we should listen to Chair Winfrey and remove it till further discussion is had.
Member Freeman?
So I was just wanting some clarification, because I mean, this did go through committee and it's here and they just messed up with the support or oppose. I know they were doing some like straw polls. Do we know how the committee felt when this came through, if it was supported or opposed?
The vote in the committee was to accept the agenda as presented.
Okay.
The assumption was that either support or oppose had been chosen. We did not do that, and so we're just looking to correct that now.
Right.
However, if there is strong sentiment against these two items, we can remove them from the agenda and move the agenda forward.
So I think we have to also remember, we have a legislative breakfast coming up where we will be presenting our state and federal agendas, and I do believe that's in February. So if we send this back, I do believe that would.
We would only be taking these two items. We would approve the agenda with the exception of these two and
Okay.
present the agenda. This would
Okay.
go back to committee, just that thing.
All right, thank you.
So we could still have the agenda for the breakfast.
Speaker Van Duyn?
Thank you, Madam. I know that this has been said multiple times, and I just want to make it crystal clear. This body, this came out of committee already once. Everybody has had plenty of time to review the body of the document. It's simply just removing a word, either support or oppose. And it was under the impression that the committee wanted to support it. So I think we should just end discussion and vote. Thank you.
Member Newquist.
Yeah, actually, that was my question, and I think it's been answered. Did the committee support these two, even though they didn't make a formal choice? And it sounds like the committee was in support of both of these, unless I'm hearing everybody.
No, you're
wrong.
right.
Okay, thank you.
Member Butler.
So I'm not clear. Did member Winfrey make a motion to remove this?
I did not.
She did not.
Okay, so then I would like to make that motion.
I believe we have one already on the floor.
I'd like to make the amendment to pass the legislative agenda without these two items in it.
I believe we have an amendment already on the floor. I thought Jackie made an amendment to support, yes.
Make a motion to amend the amendment to remove these
So
two.
they have to act on they have to withdraw or act on the motion. Then we can move to remove these from.
We can also amend the amendment.
If the mover consents.
But I didn't make them.
She suggested it, so.
Yes.
You were withdrawing the whole agenda?
She made the motion for the amendment.
Okay, that's just one piece, but then he's asking to have those two items removed. But what we're being told is that the person who made the motion has to make the amendment. Is that what I'm?
No, now that she's removed her agenda,
Gotcha.
we're fine.
So now he can make the.
Yes, he can make his amendments to remove those two items now that we don't have a pending motion on the floor.
All right.
I make the motion to amend to remove.
So we have a motion to, just so people are clear, can you state which two you want to have removed? That's going to be the next question, Mr. Butler, so you might as well.
Okay, so I would like to make a motion to amend, removing the FOIA legislation on the HB 3380 and the HB 1740 from the
State agenda.
legislative agenda.
Perfect. There's a motion. Is there a second? Any discussion on the motion? Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll on removing those two items from the state legislative agenda.
Richmond. Williams. Ogalla. I'm sorry, Dean Schlottman. Ogalla. Sorry, I missed that. What was that? No.
No.
Pretzel,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Newquist, Balich,
Yes.
Oxley,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yeah.
Winfrey,
Yes.
Bullock,
No.
Logan, Freeman,
Winfrey came up with the idea first.
Revis,
Yeah.
Mitchell,
No.
Ortiz, Berkowitz, Hickey,
Whichever. At this point, there's so much
Costa?
dissension, I would rather just take it out and be done with it.
Trainier, Van Dyne.
Fourteen in the affirmative, the motion carries. Chair Winfrey.
Okay, so then I present the state rather, agenda as presented with the word support.
No. We just pulled those two pieces out. So it's as amended, yeah.
So, I'm sorry, I lost track of the amendments. There's
Yeah.
so much dissension.
Mhm.
Okay, so then I move that we
Just
accept
have a
the
motion
stated-
to,
state
motion to
agenda
approve as amended.
approved.
Yeah.
As amended, rather.
Motion by Winfrey, second by Hickey. Discussion. There you go.
Okay, so I like the state legislative agenda, especially after that change. However, of course, I had the page pulled up and then I scrolled away when we were doing the other thing, but I would like to add one word and concept into the housing section, specifically. So this is on page number 4, number 9 in the page 9 in the PDF, number 4 in the document. It's underneath community development and housing. And it says Will County supports the following initiatives: restoring funding for Home Illinois, protecting and expanding affordable housing programs, prioritizing resources with people with the greatest housing needs. And this is the one that I'd like to change: promoting sustainable home ownership. And in that paragraph, I think we need to make a mention of property taxes. So for example, supporting policies that address the root causes of eviction, such as high property taxes, and promote sustainable home ownership through various programs and initiatives. And I would like to make a motion to include the word or phrase such as property taxes after the root causes of eviction. Insert, yes, insert.
Motion by Revis, seconded by Dean Schlotman. Is there discussion on that motion? Member Trinier?
Per our rules, that should have been presented in writing. Do we have that available in writing?
Yeah. Give me 30 seconds. I can do that. I guess I'm going to have to email it to Chief of Staff Chuck. Chuck, it'll be coming to your email here in a moment. Sorry to make you run.
All right. While we are waiting for that, is there any other discussion on? No, on what we're discussing right now. Yeah.
On that.
No, we're not going to. All right. Right. Do I? We're going to recess until Mr. Pelkey can come back and with the print, or your staff can come back with the printed item. I'm sorry. All right. Member Revis, I'm going back to you. So you can, once again, we are in the middle of
Yes, ma'am.
we are in the middle of we are in the discussion portion of the already amended state agenda. So why don't you once again explain where we're at, what you want?
Yes, ma'am. So page number 4, or marked page number 4, number 9 on your document, if you're looking at the PDF, we want to change the last section underneath in the housing section, underneath the promoting sustainable home ownership. And it would now read in its entirety that we would be supporting policies that address the root causes of eviction and foreclosure, such as high property taxes, and promoting sustainable home ownership through various programs and initiatives, supporting court-based rental assistance programs. So the change would really come after root causes, where it would say of eviction and foreclosure, such as high property taxes. That's the language that we're adding.
There's already been a motion and a second. Is there discussion on that additional word? Member Berkowitz, you have a discussion on this additional word? Okay, nope. Speaker Van Dyne.
Thank you. It seems like we're just singling out such as high property taxes. In my mind, there's a lot of root causes of evictions and foreclosure. I don't think it's necessary to just take one particular item and add this into our agenda. So I will not support that. Thank you.
Okay. Member Ballage.
I don't want to say this. I don't want to say it wrong. I used to have a real estate company. And when I would sell a house, if the taxes were too high, the people that wanted to buy the house couldn't buy the house because they don't qualify for a loan. So when the taxes keep going up, like I live in Homer Glen, and my taxes rise pretty much every year, a lot. Now, if you have a bigger home, you spend more money, but people can't afford to pay the asking price unless you lower it. So you got to keep lowering your price. So there's a point where people can't, and like we have a water bill. So, I mean, when you're talking about property taxes, that's what everybody looks at, but they don't look at water bills. My water bill averages between $260 and $290 a month just for the water. So, I mean, when you add up costs, people that go to buy that house, they're going, wait a minute, you got close to $300 just for water. Then you have property taxes, and that's like $600 a month. So that's $900. So you start limiting the people that can afford to buy the houses that are there, unless the people are willing to sell them for a real low price. So, I guess when I see such as property taxes, that's a big problem for everybody. And like with the water, that's a problem for us, but it isn't a problem for everybody else. But they have different problems. Everyone's got something where they live, and it should be addressed. But property taxes is probably the only thing that everybody has a problem with.
All right, thank you. I don't see any other comments, so we are going to now take a vote on adding such as high property tax. Madam Clerk, please call the roll. Right, oh,
Wasn't there two things?
It also
I'm
adds
sorry.
foreclosure.
And Revis.
It just adds the foreclosure language, but
okay. All right, thank you, sorry. All right. So we're now voting on those two additions to the language that is sitting before you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Richmond. Williams. Dean Schlottman. Ogala. Pretzel.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Newquist. Balich.
Yes.
Oxley.
Yes.
Brooks. Winfrey. Bullock. Logan.
Yes.
Freeman. Revis.
yes.
Mitchell. Ortiz. Berkowitz. Hickey. Costa. Trainier. Van Dyne.
All right, 13 members in the affirmative, the motion carries. So now Sorry.
I move to accept the state agenda as amended.
Motion by Winfrey, seconded by O'Gala. Any discussion? Matt, Member Berkowitz.
Thank you. So on page 9, under the Will County Community Mental Health Board, I would like to I'd like to make an amendment and remove the paragraph on page 9. It's the second paragraph. It says, "The Will County Board adopts the following position: supports a legislative effort to expand mental health research into the birth to 5 age group and the expansion of services required to serve children in this age group and their families." Just from a common sense perspective, and not even the dollars I see in this paragraph, I would like this removed. I sit on the county board and I do not support this. I don't know what kind of research you can get at birth on mental health. So to me, this, I would like it completely removed. And does everybody find it? Page 9. It's page 9. The second paragraph that says Will County Board adopts the following positions. First bullet point, supports a legislative effort to expand mental health research from birth to age 5. I would like to make a motion to have that removed.
There's a motion to have that line removed, seconded by Dean Schlotman. Discussion, a lot of it. Member Costa.
There's well-known research around ACEs, which is understood to be adverse childhood experiences that do occur at the early stages of life. And I do think that is important that as we, take care of our children and we consider the work that our mental health board and the community is doing to try to resolve adult-related traumas, a lot of that is stemming from youth experiences from 0 to 5. So this is not, this doesn't have a dollar amount. It supports whatever research that is currently occurring. Maybe there's an expansion of that. I would highly recommend that we support maintaining this language on this agenda. Thank you.
Member O'Gala.
Thank you. So unless you've adopted children at an older age, not at birth, although I know birth comes into it, it's maybe hard to understand. I took various classes and became certified through the Workforce Investment Services program that we have on epigenetics. And epigenetics is something that happens through families and is passed down. So even though the child doesn't experience a certain thing, because the parent experienced it, possibly when they were pregnant or whatever, becomes built into their genetics. And they did research, as crazy as this might seem. One of the examples they showed were they showed mice, adult mice, in a situation, and they were exposed to the smell of cherry blossoms. And when they were exposed to that, something scared them. So then they were always scared when they smelled cherry blossoms. Then they found that their children who were never exposed to cherry blossoms, when they had that same smell, they became scared. And it's just part of the science of epigenetics. And I agree with everything that Member Costa said. It's very important. You may not think that 0 to 5 is very critical, but 0 to 5 is extremely critical. And what children are exposed to can have a big impact on them later in life, even though they seem very young at maybe 2 years old or something like that. So I think the more information that can be gathered, the more services could be provided to children. So I will be supporting keeping this in the language.
Member Hickey.
Okay, as the parent of 2 kids who needed services in that age range, what I can tell you is that at least back in the day, insurance companies would balk at anything that didn't have, that wasn't a proven intervention. You needed longitudinal studies in order to make sure that you could get insurance coverage for any of these interventions. So I mean, when we're talking about this, I don't think that we're talking about doing something bad to a kid during cherry blossoms, although I'm not, I understand the epigenetics part. But I think what we're actually talking about is making sure that we are providing best practices in that really critical time during the birth to 5 window, so that we can make sure that we are making the right choices then, because there's some statistic out there, and it's like for every dollar you spend on a child before the age of 5, you'll have to spend 7 after to get the same kind of result. So I think that this is very important, and very important to parents, especially in the autism community, that we make sure that we expand this research. So I'll be supporting it. Thank you.
Well, her motion is to remove it, just so you know. Yeah, yeah. Right. Oh, Member Berkowitz, anything else to add? Because your light's still on.
My response to the comments that were made is this language, there's no accountability here. There's no details. This is a general statement indicating that we support an unknown process. I haven't seen any results of mental health research. I haven't seen any proof or validation. What does this mean? Expand mental health research. Does that mean that if a physician or a government official thinks that a child is experiencing up from birth to 5 mental health issues, that they have the ability to interject into a family home or that child's life? This is too broad and dangerous. When we adopt policies, we see what's going on in all over the country today with money. This is money. We're supporting an expansion to spend money, taxpayer dollars, in mental health research. What does that mean, mental health research? I am asking for common sense. Let's keep our agenda focused, broad things like this without anything substantial, anything proven. And I bring this motion forward, and let's have a vote.
Member Bullock?
Call the question, please.
We have to take a vote on that, but I think we were already done anyway, so we can, I didn't see any. So we are now voting on removing the line item. So if you vote yes, you are voting to remove the line item. I said that right? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Richmond, Williams, Dean Schlottman, Ogala, Pretzel, Butler, Newquist, Balich, Oxley, Brooks, Winfrey, Bullock,
No.
Logan, Freeman, Revis, Mitchell, Ortiz, Berkowitz, Hickey, Costa, Trainier, Van Dyne.
20 in the negative, the motion fails. Any other Chair Winfrey?
The full agenda.
We are-
I'll just say about that particular line item.
Oh, sorry.
As a
It's done. It's done.
Okay.
Moving on.
Okay, move on then. State agenda as amended.
The motion by Winfrey, seconded by Ogala. Madam Clerk, please call the roll. This is the full state agenda now as amended.
Richmond, Williams, Dean Schlottman, Ogala, Pretzel, Butler, Newquist, Balich, Oxley, Brooks, Winfrey,
Yes.
Bullock,
Yes.
Logan, Freeman, Revis, Mitchell, Ortiz, Berkowitz, Hickey, Costa, Trainier, Van Dyne.
Yes.
22 in the affirmative, the motion carries.
Thank you.
Chair Winfrey.
Thank you. Next up is the federal agenda, 254, oops, 022-01. Federal agenda for moving for approval.
Motion by, you have to make sure you say motion, please.
Motion
Motion
by
by Winfrey,
Winfrey.
seconded by Freeman. Any discussion? Member Berkowitz.
I just have an item I'd like to have removed. And so it is on page 1, under Community Development and Housing. And it is the 4th bullet point. And the sentence that I would like removed is, let's see, it says, the Will County Board opposes cuts to HUD subsidies that discourage institutional investors in affordable housing, which strains an already stressed housing stock. I served on a homeowners association for well over a decade. Part of my most unpleasant responsibilities was going to all the properties that had been abandoned. And these are nice homes, squatters that had taken over properties. And just the general housing market crash that time, especially in 2008. It was a horrible, horrible time. And we had a budget too, our homeowners association, to keep our assessment fees low. We had properties that were mismanaged, properties that were not taken care of, properties that were trashed. That caused us a lot of financial strain, in addition to the impact on the community. The homeowners were upset. The police said there's nothing we can do. It was a terrible, terrible period. What I was dealing with was a lot of absentee owners, institutional investors, people who were companies that were buying our properties. So for that reason, based on my experience with that type of a market, and also it happens that just recently, in the last few days, that the president issued an executive order removing institutional investors from home ownership. So for that reason, I would like to have that last sentence removed. And that sentence states that the Will County Board rejects policies. Oh, no, it's the next one. And the Will County Board opposes cuts to HUD subsidies that discourage institutional investors in affordable housing, which strains an already stressed housing stock. I can tell you that individual homeowners.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for you to make the motion. Yeah. Yeah.
I make the motion and bring it.
Motion to remove that line item. Is there a second? Second, O'Gallagher. Now discussion on the removal of that line item. Member Butler, then Trinier.
All right, so I'm sorry, my computer's down, but it sounded like a double negative. Like if we're discouraging funding for institutional investors, does that limit institutional investors? I'm not understanding 100% on that.
Should I?
Well,
just-
if you want to explain what you're, yeah, this is
So
your
the
amendment.
statement says that the Will County Board rejects policy, or the Will County Board opposes cuts to HUD that subsidizes or cuts to HUD
Subsidies.
subsidies that discourages institutional investors. So we're saying
In affordable housing.
we want those, we want to encourage institutional investors.
No, what, no, you're, okay, I guess the way it was.
Let's make sure I'm not
I
reading.
think I understand now. So we're discouraging the encouragement of okay. Yeah, it was kind of
So
double
here,
negative. I couldn't-
I'd
I
like it
wasn't-
completely removed.
Well, as it's written now, it supports your position.
No, it doesn't.
No, it's like a double negative.
So for that reason, I think we should just remove it.
All right. Okay, yeah, we're working on that. So we now have member Trinier.
I would agree with the previous member, the previous speaker. This is basically a double negative, so this does give Member Berkowitz what she's looking for, and to remove it would take away what she's looking for. It's opposing cuts that discourage that.
I don't have the language. I'm a great wordsmith. I love a good wordsmith. So if you have a better way to do it, come and thinking and working.
So I would like to
let's figure
finish.
it out.
So I guess.
I'm sorry, I thought you were
mean,
done.
This, we want to not oppose, but support, right? Right, that's what you're saying, is that we don't want to oppose, we don't want to say oppose, or we want to support.
I mean, we could just say Will County Board supports the discouragement of institutional investors in affordable housing.
Yeah.
I want it just completely removed, please.
Yes, like right now, let's just stick with what
Let's
what
vote on
member Berkowitz has wanted. She wants it completely removed.
Okay, I'm
And
fine
then
with
you
that.
can, yeah, you know.
I agree.
Yeah. Completely removed. So we still have discussion on the removal of what member Berkowitz is asking. Member Newquist.
Yeah,
Done removal.
I was very confused about the wording of this, but I'm also wanting to point out that in many communities, what is deemed affordable housing is the result of institutional investors. I mean, there are usually developments that are developed by you know, a particular group, and with the housing range price geared, you know, the housing price geared toward a certain range. So I mean, it really depends on what your definition of affordable housing is, I guess, because out where in the south suburbs, almost all of quote affordable housing developments unquote are developed by institutional investors.
Member Mitchell and Hickey.
I was a realtor. And I would have clients who are looking to have a rental in their area of choice. And I'll just say this one particular area was Romeoville. So I would take them to Romeoville, and they want to go look at all these apartments or whatever, or no, these homes that were owned by institutional investors in Romeoville. They were rental homes, single-family homes. They were owned by institutional investors. And each one I would take them to would be owned by the same ones. So it'd be the same rules, the same barriers to them getting into those homes. It was very annoying. I was like, I didn't know any. It's funny how years later it gets to this point, but it really barred entry-level rental into getting your family, a single mom with their child getting into those properties, because they had a very strict point of entry into those homes. It would be different if it was mom and pop, looking at a renter and going, oh, this is nice. You're a nice family. Looks like you have a good, credit rating, or you're building it up. Let's work together and get you into this rental. It wasn't like that. It was very cold. It did prevent renters, low income, or rather moderate to low income renters, from getting into a home. So for this, I do agree that we should not encourage institutions from purchasing properties that are out there.
Member Hickey.
Okay. When we looked at this, my recollection is that we want to keep the current level of HUD subsidies going out. And by that happening, that discourages institutional investors in affordable housing, which I believe is more purchasing and raising the prices rather than the original builders. But that was my understanding. I know there's a lot of levels of abstraction here. So I completely understand, and I apologize that I didn't point this out, that we could simplify this language, but I thought that anyway, thank you.
Member Bullock, then Butler.
Okay, let's look at the language. It says, that right now, there are currently HUD subsidies that discourage institutional investors in affordable housing. Okay, they're out there. What we are saying is that we oppose cuts to those subsidies because we like those subsidies because they are discouraging institutional investors. It is written correctly, it is just confusing. So HUD subsidies exist that discourage institutional investors. We like that, which means that we will then oppose any cuts to those types of subsidies. So this is written correctly, and I believe we should support it the way it is.
Member Butler.
Okay. And that's what I kind of thought. I was kind of confusing because I thought it did support what she was getting at. But just to be clear, Madam Chair, if we vote to take this out, we're opposing. No, if we keep it in, we're supporting the reduction of institutional investors. Right? I mean, so.
No. Yes, I mean, that's, I think, what she just
Yeah.
read, because if you increase HUD, you decrease institutional investors. Yeah.
That's what I thought it said. I was just having a little trouble getting to it.
Yeah, I mean, okay, and we'll let the attorney kind of weigh in on how he's. That's how. Go ahead, sir.
So you're going to hate the lawyer answer. I'll tell you this much. If this was a contract dispute, we would say it's totally ambiguous. You'd construe it against the drafter. I can't tell you. There are a number of concepts. Both sides think it supports one thing. I think you can read it. It's an ambiguous thing. That's how you look at it as a contract. This is ambiguous language.
Thank you.
I think there are two reasonable interpretations of this, and
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So
I know how to read.
yeah. Kevin's right. That's perfect. Member Revis, or I'm sorry, because you spoke on this. Did you speak on this one, or I'm gonna get someone? Okay, Member Revis and Williams.
Supports supports discouraging institutional.
Right, they want it.
Okay. So I mean, I guess I'm not committed to this sentence, but we're arguing whether or not that this sentence discourages institutional investors. And the way it's written, we don't want to encourage institutional investors. You just said that. We don't want to encourage institutional investors. We want to discourage institutional investors. So we, the Will County Board, oppose cuts to the HUD subsidies that exist that discourage institutional investors in affordable housing. I mean, there's only one way to read this sentence. I think it's fine. I'm not going to support any changes just to be difficult, and it's fine as it is. It accomplishes what Member Berkowitz wants. There's no need to change it.
Member Williams.
So if the language is removed, then they don't know where we stand, right? So we do want to have a stand, and the stand is to oppose these institutional developments, and that's what this language does. Thank you.
Member Richmond.
So there's times I agree with my attorney and there's times I don't. It depends on the context of the discussion. If it's a business decision, I like to take my decisions, but in this case here, it's a wording decision or a wording discussion. And I agree with Kevin. The fault falls on the person that wrote it. In this case here, it is unclear. So what I would like to do is defer to Kevin so we could clarify the two possible ways, and then we vote on those ways. Does that make sense, Madam Chair?
I am okay if the state's attorney is comfortable doing that.
I'll be quite honest, if I understood how HUD subsidies affected the real estate market, I'd be a much richer man. I'd be happy to get you wording to accomplish what you would like to accomplish. I think what I'm being told here, and again, I'm not an expert on housing policy, is that we want to continue these subsidies. So there's one camp that wants to continue the subsidies so as to remove institutional lenders from being involved in the market. And there is another camp that wants to keep the institutional investors
Well, in general, but I think we're all in agreement here.
I think in general, we're in agreement that we don't want the institutional investors. And I don't mean to speak for the whole board, but I think that's what we want. And so I think maybe what we look to do is get correct language. Mike, I know you're chomping at the bit up there too. But I think what we should do is we should get this right, because last thing we want to do is, misstate. our
If Mr.
position.
Mahoney has a good clarification,
He's going to give you an example here.
so just so I understand, we want to remove institutional investors from the equation. Is the will of the board, or at least one of, so I would say we support policies that limit institutional investors' role in the residential real estate market, something to that effect.
Remove. Are you satisfied with that?
Yeah, I
Mr.
think
Richmond?
all I wanted to do is get to wording that everybody can understand and not have any double talk or ambiguity like Kevin
Okay.
had mentioned. So I appreciate it.
So now we have to figure out how to put this in there. Hold on, Mr. Butler, I have a list of people. I see that you want to speak.
Kevin, can you restate your position?
Sure. So if Member Berkowitz would withdraw her motion to completely remove it, if we wanted to move towards having positive language opposition, it would be that we support policies that limit or exclude institutional investors from the residential real estate market.
I would agree with that, with excluding institutional and.
Sure, whether it's excluding or limiting,
I would.
Okay.
So, okay, so what I'm hearing then is you would have to withdraw your motion to remove, and then we will you can amend it, or Mr. Richmond can amend it, or.
So I'm withdrawing my initial motion, and then I would like this rewritten to clarify that the Will County Board does not support institutional investors in housing.
So that's.
And I'm making that motion. I make the motion.
Okay. So just, I think it's fair to say that we want to make sure that, but you went, okay, so last time we went to support policies that limit, you just said.
Well, I think that's
oppose
what
policy. So-
confuses everybody
so-
is the reference
Well,
to,
it's-
like Kevin said, HUD, and
Yeah.
it's very confusing. So I think if we were very specific and we say we don't support the purchase by institutional investors. Where's my?
Yeah, I'm with you.
In housing.
Do you mind,
Which-
because he's gonna jump
want
off his
us to-
seat, so can Mr. Butler
sure.
help you with the language? Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. Oh, no, we wouldn't be discussing, we do. We have a motion and second. Berkowitz made the motion, Dean Schlotman made the second. And so, Member Butler?
Say Will County Board supports HUD subsidies that discourage institutional investors. It's saying that we support the subsidies that discourage institutional investors.
Okay,
Again, if that's what they do,
Yeah.
again, I'm not an expert.
That's not double meaning.
No,
there.
no, that is a
That
direct.
is a specific,
Yes.
we are against kind of institutional investors.
okay, so I'm gonna, because this is
So-
now becoming a wording thing and we're kind of losing control here, but I don't think you're gonna have Member Gala agree with you.
Okay, so we want to strike and the, or no, and we want to strike
doing committee work.
opposes, cuts, or opposes, and just put supports cuts to HUD subsidies that discourage no, I'm sorry. Strike opposes cuts to and put supports subsidies that, HUD subsidies that discourage institutional investors. And then it's very specific. We're supporting HUD subsidies that will prevent or limit institutional investors.
Okay, and I'm going to, before they go off, and I want to make sure that is, Member Berkowitz is okay with that, because she's the one making the amendment. But before we go and have them type it, I'm going to listen to Member Ogala, who I think is going to come up with a different language, and so we can have this done once.
So I'm just going to clarify. I don't know anyone here who spoke with Martha Soika from the Land Use Department, who works with CDBG, who works with these HUD subsidies. HUD subsidies are created specifically to encourage investors. So there are a certain group of investors that invest to purchase affordable housing for people. She does not want to have cuts in those HUD subsidies, which would then discourage them from applying. So she wants us to oppose cuts to HUD subsidies that would discourage people, these institutions, from buying land, from buying properties that make it affordable. That is what I talked with Martha, so I understand what she's saying. So HUD subsidies exist today that institutional investors can apply for to purchase affordable housing units. That's what it does. So the way it's written is like, and I completely agree with what your opinion was. It's ambiguous because it's the intent of the writer. The intent of the writer, like I'm telling you, is Martha does not want to see any cuts in HUD subsidies, because if there were, it would discourage these investors from purchasing homes.
Member Ogala, since you did have a cow, and I understand what you're saying, and since you have this knowledge, can we just say, and I'm sorry I'm interfering, but this could go on all day with work, but can you just say, do not support cuts to HUD and leave it at that? I don't know. Do you feel based on that conversation with?
Possibly, I didn't ask her that question. Unfortunately, she isn't here. We could hold the whole federal agenda till next month and clarify it. But there's two intents on this board. I believe, there's the group that wants to see HUD subsidies where institutional investors can get grants to purchase affordable housing. I would think there are. Versus those that want to go with the executive order that the president just issues. So it's ambiguous as written, and I think because of that, it should just be removed, or somebody should replace it with non-ambiguous language.
We are working with Member Berkowitz on the proper language, what you want to, that you have a motion and a second here. Can you please state how you, since you withdrew your to remove, please state how you would like this worded, whether you use Mr. Butler's example.
I have a
what-
very
yeah, okay.
clear, simple statement. The Will County Board does not support the purchase of housing stock by institutional investors, which strains an already stressed housing stock.
And you want to add that to the, so now you're adding that or replacing.
Remove that sentence. Kevin, I could also withdraw my motion and again, ask to have this sentence removed. And then at the next committee meeting, we can determine the language of that.
And I'm going to.
And have it added to the agenda.
All right.
It can still be a part of.
All right,
our
we're
agenda.
gonna, yeah, I see that. We're gonna let me get control of this meeting again. I'm gonna go back to the chair while I do see Martha came up, and Martha, we're gonna put you on the spot because we are doing way too much committee work here right now. So, Martha, we're gonna do, but remember, we're gonna let the chair speak, or would you rather first hear Martha speak?
Let me just say this.
Okay.
And I understand what Martha would like. I do agree that the language is maybe not as clear as it could be. I don't necessarily disagree with the language. So I'm offering that we would take it back to committee and then working with Martha, we could work to make the language more clear so that people could more readily understand what our intent is.
Absolutely. I support that.
She walked all the way here.
Martha, if you, Martha,
Sorry, you came all the way up here. All right, so we have okay, hold on, but we have a motion second on the floor. Hold on a second. So they are just making a motion to bring this back to committee so you could talk. So you'd have to withdraw your motion again.
Okay, so I withdraw the motion.
Okay.
that I was recommended to change it to.
Okay.
So I'm withdrawing it and going back to my original motion where I would like this removed. And then I'm perfectly happy with having it come back to committee and then we can have the appropriate language.
Okay, so just in the interest of time here, in the interest of time, Member Berkowitz has asked that we just remove the language. We know that member Winfrey is going to offer to take it back. So if we just want to vote on this and if you want it to removed, if you don't, then you would vote no, and then you know it's going to come back to committee. So it's. All right, so then you
That's
vote.
what we're trying to do.
But,
We're
okay, so
trying.
she has, because you withdrew it again, so now you made a motion again, so you're gonna need a second on that. So she has a motion, once again, Member Berkowitz has a motion again to remove it from the agenda.
Thank you.
And, no, she didn't, just remove it, and then she went, no, just to, yeah, just to remove it, that's right, correct? You just want to remove it.
I want to remove it.
And there is a second, and there is a second by Dean Schlotman. So we are just gonna, if we can have a discussion, or I mean, if we can just hold off and just vote yes or no on whether or not you want that line removed. And then if it happens, you can still bring it back to committee to talk about it, all right? Am I correct there? We're going to take a vote. You're going to vote on removing it from the agenda.
No, removing the language.
Removing that sentence from we're all understanding that? Do you have something to say on that?
I did, but it's fine. Let's just
Okay,
vote.
all right, all right. Madam Clerk, please take the roll on removing the sentence from the federal agenda.
Richmond,
Because it's already on the floor. You have to settle down.
Williams.
Can you clarify, does this,
Your amendment.
does this remove the ability for us to take it back to committee like Denise agreed?
No, right now, well, if that's the case.
We do that next, correct? We do that next?
It's gonna go back.
You should have taken mine.
It's gonna go back.
Yes means we remove it now. This is unbelievable.
You're on, yeah, you're on.
So the motion
Okay,
is to remove this sentence.
Line, sentence.
Right, the and Will County. If we want to send the entire, and I'm not clear what the will is, if we want to send the entire agenda back to committee.
Just
then-
a segment, I thought.
Well, but if you pass it, my concern is how do you amend it once you've already passed it and it's been, I would like to send the entire thing back.
That was a living document.
Yeah, so if you would like to send the entire document back, you would vote no. If you would just like to have this removed, you would say yes, and then the chair we would then vote it as amendment. So if you want this removed, it will be voted on as amended. If you want to send it back, you'd vote no on this completely.
And then we'll need an motion.
Then we'll need the motion to send it back. Everyone understand? Okay, so we are in the middle of a vote, I think, right? Are we in the middle of a vote?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, so
Same motion.
we're in the same motion to remove it from the agenda.
So I have Richmond is no, Williams is no. Dean Schlotman. Ogala. Pretzel. Butler. Newquist. Balich. Oxley. Brooks. Winfrey. Bullock. Logan. Freeman. Revis. Mitchell. Ortiz. Berkowitz.
Yes or no? Just vote yes or no?
No. Hickey. Costa. Trainier. Van Dyne.
21 in the negative, the motion fails. Chair Winfrey.
Madam Executive, I move that we take the federal agenda back to committee.
Motion by Winfrey, seconded by Ogala. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Richmond. Williams. Dean Schlotman,
Yes.
Ogala,
Yes.
Pretzel, Butler, Newquist, Balich, Oxley, Brooks, Winfrey,
Yes.
Bullock,
Yes.
Logan, Freeman, Revis, Mitchell, Ortiz, Berkowitz, Hickey, Costa, Trainier, Van Dyne.
22 in the affirmative, the motion carries. Chair Winfrey.
Okay, thank you, Madam Executive. So on February 3rd, when this committee sits again, we will go through the federal agenda, use the help of Martha Soika to get the language so that we are able to all understand it clearly, and we'll bring it forward at that time. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to capital improvements in IT. Chair Freeman.
I have nothing to bring forward. And if you want to know what happened, it's online. Thank you.
When's your next meeting?
Next meeting is scheduled for February 3rd.
Thank you. Chair Oxley, Landfill Committee.
Thank you, Madam Executive. We had a meeting, we had a very good meeting. Some changes will be coming forward, and our next meeting is scheduled for February 10th. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker Van Dyne, Executive Committee.
Thank you once again, Madam Executive. We have 3 items on our consent agenda. The executive appointment of Director of Will County Finance and Budget Department, a resolution authorizing the county executive to execute an IGA with the city of Joliet and Southeast Joliet Sanitary District, and authorizing the county executive to execute an IGA with the city of Joliet to perform water meter replacements. And
And one more.
thank you. Does anyone feel the need to remove any of these items from the agenda? I should have asked before. All right, so I will make that motion.
Motion by Van Dyne, seconded
Second.
by Freeman. All in favor? Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries.
Number 2 on our agenda, Resolution 26-02025-3991, amending county board rules, proclamations for retiring Will County employees, and I would like to make that motion.
Motion by Van Dyne,
Second,
seconded by
previous Winfrey.
Grenier. Is there any discussion? We have discussion. Member Butler?
So I think that this is the one area where the whole board has to come together to make a decision and support. And we've already proven twice in 2 retirements that we're in favor of this. Our rules say that it has to be unanimous. And I think it's good that we would come together to support somebody for their service, and they know they have the support of the whole board. So I would definitely be opposed to changing our rules.
Seeing no other discussion, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Richmond, Williams, Dean Schlotman, Ogala, Pretzel, Butler, Newquist, Balich, Oxley, Brooks, Winfrey, Bullock, Logan, Freeman, Revis, Mitchell, Ortiz, Berkowitz, Hickey, Costa, Trainier, Van Dyne.
Yes.
Eighteen in the 18 in the affirmative, the motion carries.
Thank you. Our next scheduled meeting would be February 11th, 2026. Moving on to the appointments by the county executive. Number 1, Resolution 26-021, approving county executive appointments to the Workforce Investment Board of Will County, and I so move.
Motion by Van Dyne, seconded by Gogala. Previous roll call by Winfrey. Oh, I'm sorry, we need a clean roll. Yep. Madam Clerk, did you have a comment on workforce? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Richmond, Williams. Dean Schlotman. O'Gala. Pretzel. Butler. Newquist. Balich. Oxley. Brooks. Winfrey. Bullock. Logan. Freeman. Revis. Mitchell. Ortiz. Berkowitz. Hickey. Costa. Trainier. Van Dyne.
Yes.
22 in the affirmative, the motion carries.
Number two, Resolution 26-022, approving the county executive appointments to the Community Mental Health Board of Will County. Before I make that motion, it was a request from a handful of board members that we separate the three different appointments, so I will make that motion.
Motion by Van Dyne, seconded by O'Gala to separate the three. So we will take all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. The appointment, Will County Community Mental Health Board, Juhi Fahim, and I so move.
Motion by Van Dyne, seconded by Costa. Any discussion? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Juhi Fahim. Oh,
District 8.
all right. Done.
The Will County Community Mental Health Board, County Board District 2 appointment, Timothy McGann, and I so move.
Motion by Van Dyne, seconded by Costa. Previous roll call by Winfrey, seconded by O'Gala. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And the executive's appointment to the Will County Community Mental Health Board, Khadijah Sufi, and I so move.
Motion by Van Dyne, seconded by Costa. Madam Clerk, or I'm sorry, yep. Member Revis?
I'd
And then
like to call
O'Gala.
the question, please.
You need a second to call the question? Second, Costa. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Richmond. Williams. Dean Schlotman. O'Gala. Pretzel. Butler. Newquist. Balich. Oxley. Brooks. Winfrey. Bullock. Logan. Freeman. Revis. Mitchell. Ortiz. Berkowitz. Hickey. Costa. Trainier. Van Dyne.
Yes.
We need 15 to call the question, so we need 15 to call because 15 to call the question, correct? Yep. So the motion fails. Member O'Gala.
Thank you. So we do have many appointments come before us as a board. They come through the executive's office, then it comes to us whether we are supported or not. I think we should make it a standard that when we have a board where they are responsible for making decisions to distribute something like $10 million in funds, that the person getting appointment should not have any other strong affiliations that might impact it, such as being an employee for a state representative or a state senator. Regarding what political party they are, I think the influence would be too high and we should not appoint that person. So because of that, I will be a no for, I forget her name, I can't pronounce her name correctly. But I think that we need to have that as a policy. There are a lot of boards that we do appoint mayors and such like that, but they are not directly influenced or able to distribute $10 million. I think that this should be subjective to the rules that Tina Mackey and her group have put forward as to what they should do. And I think that influence from somebody, especially in this situation, who's chief of staff of a state representative, should not be there, regardless of political party. I think it should be a standard. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker Van Dyne. Oh, sorry. I don't know why.
No, I have no
Okay.
comment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Seeing no more comments, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Richmond. Williams. Dean Schlotman. O'Gala. Pretzel. Butler. Newquist? Balich? Oxley? Brooks? Winfrey? Bullock? Logan? Freeman? Revis? Mitchell? Ortiz? Berkowitz? Hickey? Costa? Trainier? Van Dyne?
Twelve in the affirmative, the motion carries. Oh, now you're off, sorry.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to number, excuse me, number 3 on our agenda, Resolution 26-023, approving the county executive appointments to the Historic Preservation Commission of Will County. I
Motion,
so move.
motion by Van Dyne, seconded by Winfrey. Madam Clerk, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Richmond? Williams? Dean Schlotman? O'Gala? Pretzel? Butler? Newquist? Balich? Oxley? Vote Oxley, your vote.
One, the historic. He said yes.
Oh, sorry. Brooks? Winfrey? Bullock? Logan? Freeman? Revis? Mitchell? Ortiz? Berkowitz? Hickey? Costa? Trainier? Van Dyne?
Yes.
22 in the affirmative, the motion carries.
Thank you. Lastly, Resolution 26-024, approving county executive appointments to the Elwood Fire Protection District of Will County, and I would like to make that motion.
Motion by Van Dyne, seconded by Freeman. Previous roll call by O'Gala, seconded by Oxley. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
That concludes the executive committee's report.
Thank you. This time, we'll move on to public comments relevant to matters under the jurisdiction of the county. Is there anyone here who has any public comments regarding any general county issue? Going once, going twice? All right, very good. We're going to move on to comments by county board members. And I will call you as you light up. Reminder that you have 3 minutes, and let's please be respectful of that. Member Trenier.
Thank you, Madam Executive. Just a reminder to my fellow board members, I know we all have different opinions on many of the things that come in front of us. That's evidenced by our lengthy meetings. But if you want to make a change to something, you should either do it in committee, contact a member of the committee or the chair of the committee. Let people know before the board meeting. And if you're going to bring it up as a motion, you need to have it in writing. That's our rules. And I'm just reminding everyone, I think this would be a whole lot better if we just did it in committee, especially if we're members of that committee. Waiting until the day of the board meeting is not very professional. And it does seem to get people confused about what we're voting on. So I just really want to encourage people, watch the meeting, go to the meeting, write down your changes before you get here on board day. Thank you.
Thank you. Member Berkowitz, then Freeman.
I have a question. I see an attachment under public comment. I try to download it. When I open it, there's nothing there. So is there a public comment? If it is, you're not able to view it. There is an attachment on the agenda, but when you download it, it's empty. So if somebody has submitted public comment, I do not see it.
I think it's, yeah, if you can, I don't know exactly if there is, I think is it there? Okay, all right.
It's there. Well, I can show you my download. It's absolutely blank.
Yeah.
Can we read it?
No, we cannot read them. All right, so moving on, Member Freeman.
Thank you. I will do my best to get through 3 minutes. Will County officially became into existence on January 12th, 1836, which for the record was 190 years ago this past Monday. So yes, Will County is officially very well seasoned. The county was formed from parts of Cook and Iroquois counties and named for Conrad Will, who was a businessman, salt producer, and a public servant who managed to wear several hats at once. He served in Illinois' very first constitutional convention in the state legislature, making him the kind of overachiever local government has always relied on. But long before county lines, plats, and paperwork, this land was home to the Potawatomi people. European fur traders followed, and then in the 1820s and 30s, pioneer farmers arrived. Early settlements like Walker's Grove near present-day Plainfield were established in 1826 by Jesse Walker. There were so many families that helped lay the foundation for the communities we recognize today. They weren't just building houses, they were building a future. Near a century later, on September 25th, 1928, August Mao, I do believe is how you pronounce his name, summed it up beautifully when he was in Joliet. He said, and I quote, "The history of Will County will fascinate everyone who yields to the romance of the explorers or the enthusiasm of a pioneer. The future beckons onward and upward into new realms of greater achievement." And the county's history didn't slow down. At a major turning point came in 1948 with the opening of the Illinois-Michigan Canal. By connecting the Great Lakes to the Mississippi River, the canal turned Will County into a highway of commerce before highways even were a thing. It fueled growth, brought industry, and helped establish Lockport as an administrative center, while Joliet, the county seat, from day one grew into a thriving civic and economic hub. Agriculture was the backbone of Will County, but it didn't stand alone for long when industry soon joined the mix. Joliet earned the proud nickname Stone City thanks to its limestone quarries, which supplied building stones for iconic structures, including the Chicago Water Tower. Growth came fast, so fast, in fact, that it helped drive Will County's separation from Cook County and later contributed to the creation of Kankakee County in the 1850s. Then came World War II, and with it, another transformation. Will County became a center of wartime production with facilities like the Joliet Army Ammunition Plant, playing a critical role in the war effort and bringing a surge of people and industry to the area. Today, the same land has been reborn as the Midewin National Tallgrass Prairie, a powerful reminder that places like people can evolve and be renewed. From native lands to pioneer farms, from canals to quarries and factories and restored prairies, Will County's story is one of constant change and constant resilience. It's a story shaped by those who came before us and was strengthened every day by those who are still proud to call Will County their home. So with all that background information, happy birthday, Will County.
Thank you. Yeah, Member Ortiz and then Ogalla.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In December, I was removed as chair of my committee without a motion, without a vote of the board, and without an explanation at the time. That raised a procedural question. If a committee chair is removed through the proper authority and process, that is within the board's right. The concern here is process. Under the rules, the speaker appoints committee chairs in consultation with the Democratic and Republican leaders. Our rules are silent on removal, so Robert's Rules of Order apply. Robert's rules require that removal follow the same authority and process as appointment. That did not occur. Additionally, a public reported statement was made at the time indicating the removal was related to conduct deemed inappropriate at a prior meeting. When removal is based on conduct, Robert's Rules treats that as a disciplinary matter, which requires notice and action by the board. That did not occur. A point of order and appeal was raised to address the issue, but the process question remains unresolved. The question before us is not why a chair was removed, we already know why, but whether the required process was followed. Accordingly, I'm asking that the process used to remove a committee chair be reviewed and corrected as necessary to ensure compliance with our rules and with Robert's Rules of Order. Thank you.
Thank you. Member Ogalla.
Thank you. So I just want to make a statement. As a county board member, we have the ability to vote our conscience. And we also have the ability to decide at the county board meeting if we've changed our mind, if something else has happened. It is optimal if we know beforehand how somebody might want to make an motion to amend, to remove, what have you. But there is nothing that says we should not do it here. I find that sometimes the conversation, such as the ambiguous question we had on the federal legislative agenda, becomes very clear that we need to take it back and redo the wording. So I think that although some would like everything to be perfect and everybody vote yes and no and we move on, I think a good, healthy conversation is perfect for our constituents. They hear what our thoughts are. They understand what we're thinking or we're not thinking, whatever the case may be. So I support, of course, knowing information beforehand, knowing maybe the morning of, so perhaps the leaders and the speaker can get together and come to a resolution. But I totally support any board member coming forward and making a motion that they may not have thought about possibly until the day of the board meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Member Pretzel?
Thank you, Madam Executive. I am very concerned with some of the things I'm seeing in the news these days when it comes to how we are treating our law enforcement officers. If you disagree with what the law enforcement officer is asking you to do, you are legally entitled to an attorney and you will have your day in court. What you are not legally allowed to do is resist, throw snowballs at, drive your car toward, be disrespectful really in any physical way. And if you do, you have to understand that those law enforcement officers are very focused on getting home at the end of the night, and you may be met with physical restraint, possibly them pulling their firearm. So I would encourage all of us as elected officials, people with social media followers, to encourage those that you have an impact on to be respectful to any law enforcement officer and to not try to keep them from doing their job. So keep that in mind, be respectful, and a lot of the things that we're seeing happen to people will not happen. Thank you.
Member Brooks?
Madam Executive, in 1968, the late civil rights activist Dr. Martin Luther King life perished. On Monday, January 19, we observe that holiday. We call it not a day off, but a day on. All around Will County, there are projects where people can donate their time and resources to remember that legacy. And that I want to do on today, Dr. Martin Luther King on Monday. Thank you.
Thank you. Final call for county board members? Okay. Member Richmond, or Leader Richmond.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to push my button on him, but thank you very much. I think we did a good job today. I think we represented our citizens well, and everybody have a good weekend. Thanks. Go Bears.
Leader Williams.
I wasn't going to say anything about this though, but as a former police dispatcher for the Will County Sheriff's Department, I too am appalled by the treatment of some of the officers, but I'm more appalled by the officers that refuse to identify themselves and who mistreat these citizens that they are supposed to serve and protect. So while I do agree that we are supposed to be in support of our police officers, and I do support our police officers, I think that the climate of today is there is no courtesy on either side, and I believe that it is probably more, the onus is more on the law enforcement officers than it is on the citizens to not react or to react accordingly. And from what I'm seeing, I've never seen police officers act like this in my life, and I don't know a police officer that would not identify themselves. So I do hope that while we are encouraging people to have the courtesy and respect for law enforcement, that law enforcement has that same courtesy and respect for the citizens that they are there to serve and to protect. I do not want to see any law enforcement officers pointing guns at anybody. And I will tell you that when I was a dispatcher, if one of the Will County Sheriff's deputies had to fire their weapon, there was a big procedure afterwards for them to account for pulling that weapon and firing it at somebody. And if somebody was killed, it would be even more extensive. So we need to understand that although law enforcement has a great duty, it is not to just do whatever it is that they want to do. They do not have the right to just take and shoot citizens or even to subdue them the way that I have seen things being subdued. And again, I am thankful that the Will County Sheriff's Department, from what I know, they don't do that, and I'm very grateful for that. But I do think that there needs to be some reassignment, and these people are people. They're not animals. They are people, and some of them have even been American citizens. So my last words to everybody, I do think that we're doing a better job, but I think that we should be kind. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker Van Dyne.
Thank you. Just a reminder, February 9th at the Jacob Henry Mansion, we will be having our legislators invited to breakfast. I want to make sure that everyone knows it's a wonderful event. I hope everybody can make it. I know Mr. Hendricks is going to provide us with a full breakfast instead of pastries from last year. So thank you, Mr. Hendricks. I also want to take a couple of items from some of the other members. Absolutely bear down. Thank you, Mr. Richmond. I want to wish Will County a happy anniversary for their 190th year. And also, I would like to special thanks to Member Brooks and Member Balich for serving the entire 190 years on this board. So with that being said, I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their afternoon and have a great weekend. Go Bears. Thank you.
With that, can I please get a motion to recess until February 19th? Motion by Mitchell, seconded by Freeman. All in favor? Any opposed? We'll see you February 19th.